What is going on, you guys? Today I have another video review for you. This one is from a channel called Shu, that's SHU, and the title of the video is Interracial Couple Exposes the Truth About Leaving America for Asia. Let's get into it.
When I was talking to a lot of older people about it, I wasn't getting like a lot of the feedback I thought I would get. I thought a lot of people would be like way more encouraging, but a lot of people were like, what are you going to do that for? You got so much going on back home. I'm like, bro, back home gonna be here.
Yeah.
Like, this is gonna be the same. Not it's gonna be the exact same. Like,
don't worry. Yeah, anything might be a little bit worse, but it's gonna be the same.
Yeah, like, wow. I'm not gonna say everybody was like discouraging to me, but like, just because you was never willing to do some stuff, it's a different time now. It's not what it was back in your day.
Yeah.
Like, so if you want to do it, just do it. You only get to live this life one time. Yeah. Like, it's such a blessing just to be on earth in general.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm here with Joshua and Crystal from...
Already, just because they weren't willing to do it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be shy. Or, I mean, you should definitely not be shy and make sure that you go out, explore, enjoy your life.
Houston. They are a couple.
Yes.
They're a couple. She's actually Vietnamese and he's Black American. We're going to be talking about their experience in Asia. And yeah, we actually are like just met each other last night at a hostel. We went out, had a great time last night. So I appreciate y'all joining me today. It's definitely like pretty early in the morning. So the fact that they did this, very grateful, very appreciative. So my first question is for you. What finally made you leave the U.S. and come to Asia?
I had been wanting to leave the U.S. for a while, and having a stable partner, a stable relationship, a stable funds coming in, definitely, it just kind of gave me the confidence to jump off the porch and just try it. Yeah, we're not getting no younger. We both 27. We plan on having kids, having a family and stuff. So I feel like the best time is now. And I mean, I feel like parents healthy. This is the best time to go.
Okay.
So, and Asia is definitely the cheapest region in the world to me, and it has so much different culture than the U.S.
This is your first time in Asia, right?
Well, I went to Dubai just for like a week on leisure travel, but we've been out here for 3 months, never done nothing like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like as a Black man, what was your biggest fears and like expectations like before you got on the plane?
I honestly didn't have too many fears. It was more so like the older generation putting it in my head, like, oh, be careful out there, because Black parents say that race is everywhere, but I'm like,
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a good point that he just made. Like, race can be a part of it. I mean, racism is everywhere. Like anybody can experience that, like going to a different country. Maybe you just won't understand the language, right? So like you might be like more ignorant to it unless you can see them like outright you're treating you badly, which I'm sure is like worse in certain countries than others, right? But he's making a good point. Like I hear a lot of that kind of like fearfulness from actually people in general, and maybe more so like the older generation, if they don't quite get it, right? They're like, well, why would you go over there? Isn't it dangerous? The news says it's dangerous. Everybody's plugged into the news, right? So they're like way too thinking about like politics and way too thinking about this and that. So it's like they give you negativity and a fear-based mindset. Like I'll give you an example. Like I lived in Indonesia, Thailand, Colombia, Peru, Mexico. Never did I feel unsafe. In maybe like Latin America, I could see how you could put yourself in unsafe situations, but you also have to have some street smarts and know not to do dumb stuff. Of course, accidents happen and things like that, so I totally get that, but you maybe like don't stay out super late. Don't go walking on weird streets. Don't walk around with your phone out like this, right? There's simple little things, or taking drinks from strangers, right? Like it eventually comes down to common sense. So usually a lot of the stuff, like people are like, it's because they never did it. They never left, right? Whether their town, their state, their country. So they actually have that fear that you had, and then you decided, I'm going to conquer this.
well, they more racist in the States than anywhere else to me, so shit. But I'm trying to think of any fears we had. I guess just being safety, not getting hurt while we out here, trying to do like stupid stuff, like trying to get on the motorbikes, not knowing how to ride it, and just like getting sick. I know a lot of people talk about getting sick, but other than that, I wasn't really scared about like the typical, oh, they're racist, you gotta watch your back all the time. Obviously you gotta do that, but I really haven't had any issues with any people while we've been traveling at all.
For you, what has it been like watching him experience Vietnam and Asia for the first time, knowing you like grew up around the culture?
Oh, it was fun. I like that he enjoys all the food, so he was trying a lot of new foods finally, and acclimated really well. Yeah, like he's super adaptable, so just seeing us navigate everything together, especially like the train stations in Thailand, or then going on the motorbikes was fun
Oh,
for him. Yeah,
okay,
and then
okay.
seeing him handle Hayang Loop, that was fun.
Okay.
Being on the back of motorbikes, not riding them.
That was be on the back of motorbikes.
Okay. Did you guys go to Bangkok?
Yeah.
Yo, the motorbikes in Bangkok versus like Vietnam are like on a completely different level. They drive so fast.
We didn't even ride them in Bangkok.
Oh, you didn't ride them in Bangkok? Oh
We
my
started in
gosh.
Vietnam.
Bro, they drive so fast. It's like chaotic in Bangkok, bro. It's probably your best bet that you didn't try, I'm not gonna lie. So did you guys notice any difference in how people treat you as a couple back in Houston versus here?
Not really. Because there's so many Vietnamese people in Houston as well, so I don't think it was anything like out of the ordinary for people to see back in Houston. I guess here, maybe there was a little more like, oh, it's a black dude here, like, but it wasn't like nobody like shocked, I guess.
I think we were getting more free stuff.
Yeah, we was getting free stuff for sure.
Okay.
Especially in different countries, they're like, oh, you're American. I'll be like, oh, I'm Vietnamese American, and then he's American. They're like, all right, we'll just like give y'all free stuff. So that was fun.
Okay.
I think they were just happy to see us.
Yeah.
How were people reacting when you were speaking Vietnamese?
Do you speak any English or no?
No speak English.
No?
No speak English.
Not even a little? Oh my gosh. Bạn thích làm gì?
Bạn thích làm gì?
They appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually love that he recorded that because people will overcomplicate it. They're like, I don't know the language. I won't be able to get around, so I'll just stay home. Right? And that was an amazing example. Like, Google Translate isn't perfect, but it can help you a lot. And by the way, there's a microphone feature in Google Translate, or you could actually do it on like, Grok or ChatGPT or whatever, right? You could record the thing there and have it translate, which might actually be better than Google Translate. But the microphone feature will translate what they say and what you say, and you can let them see it too. Or you can try to speak it like he did there. And that's such a good example because you could allow fear, you could overcomplicate it when it's a lot simpler than you actually think, and you can get by for sure.
Appreciate it. Even I literally.
By the way, you can take photos like in grocery stores and things like that, or of signs, if you need directions or to know what's in the food that you're getting. There's a photo feature in Google Translate where you can hold it up and it'll translate the language to you. Perfect.
Know a few words, like, but those few words they definitely do appreciate it. I think just because if you're Vietnamese, you know how difficult it is to learn the language.
Yeah.
And so like the fact that I'm even trying and it's like understandable, they really do like appreciate that. So it's always a good thing whenever I try that. I want to learn more. I have a friend. He's from, where is he from? I want to say like Maryland or something like that, but he like speaks like fluent Vietnamese, like black guy, like but
Wow.
like completely fluent, like it's crazy. But he studied at like a university in Vietnam and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shout out to Ryan, but yeah, it's dope. And so is this the longest you've been in Vietnam?
Yeah.
Okay. Or in Asia? Yeah. What has that been like?
Man, it's been a ride. Like it's probably the best year of my life, honestly, so far. Like being able to be with my grandma and wake up. So we were in Vietnam for like 2 months, and yeah, being able to wake up and like see my grandma and actually spend all this time, because the last time I came back was actually last year, but before that, prior to that was like 15 years that I hadn't been back. So yeah, being back and like just having a day to day and waking up like whenever we wanted to, and just like actually living a life, and then being able to be with my cousins where they're like showing us the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Would you say that because I have a really close like VQ friend from California, and she like told me like how her thoughts on Vietnam, like growing up versus coming back and like living there. Was it like a big difference in what you thought about it versus like actually being here for like a couple months and like, oh, okay, it's more like this and not like that? Was it like that at all or no?
It depends on what region you're from too.
Okay.
So in Da Nang, it's gonna be like the third largest city now in Vietnam, so it's starting to get a lot more tourists and everything too. And it's like there's a couple of attractions for tourists specifically, and it's a beach town too. So I didn't feel that way. I think it was
back recently too.
Yeah, and I had been back recently, so I guess it wasn't like such a culture shock. And we were like already on the motorbikes.
Yeah.
And I speak, and I'm gonna say my vernacular, but my accent, like I still have like actually a Vietnamese accent. And so when I was like telling you yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, they're thinking I'm like actually from there, but they think I just studied abroad.
Yeah.
So then I brought you back, and they're like, oh, you like got an American man.
Yeah.
I was like, but they didn't realize like, oh, I actually live in America too. So I think that also was different, because like based off of just the way I was speaking, they weren't like, oh, you're definitely from America and stuff. It was after, once you start like a long conversation with me and then my like grammar structure, that's when they're like, you might be like from the States or something. But other than that, like on a normal, like really easy conversation, they were like, oh, she's from here.
Okay, dope.
It was multiple times we'd just be out and I'd be with her and she'd be speaking like some random food stand person and they'd be like, oh, you went to America and got you an American boy.
Yeah.
I felt so objectified, right?
Yeah.
I felt like I was getting used.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay. How did it feel walking around Asia as a black man compared to walking around as a black man back in Houston?
I feel like I represent the black community. A lot of places, I don't know if you feel like this, because I don't feel like it's a lot of African Americans walking around.
Yeah.
So wherever I go, I just feel like, I'm just representing my people when I go there. So I just gotta, not put on my best behavior per se, but just know not to act like no fool nowhere. Like just try to be nice, put your best foot forward, not think the worst about people, like not think people being rude, even when you can't understand them because it sounds like they rude sometimes.
Yeah.
But nah, I feel like people really appreciate you walking around and enjoying their culture. Obviously, some people don't look at you like you crazy sometimes, I guess, but it ain't bother me. I love it, man.
What about like the comfortability? Do you feel more comfortable walking around here versus back home, or more at home? What do you think?
I really don't feel uncomfortable walking around back in Houston because I'm not really in the mix a lot. We really just stay at our place and play board games. We don't really be outside trying to putting ourselves in danger, I guess. Yeah. But no, I haven't had any problems back home. I feel like comfortable in Houston and back here. I think she feels way more comfortable here though. Because we would never be able to walk around at 1 a.m. back in Houston. And then we was able to walk around like
and then you can stay up till like 4 a.m. or even more. I mean, even here, y'all were out until 6, you know, so that's what I like. The culture is, or at least in Vietnam, I'm gonna say Vietnam. Just that like I was up until 4 or 6, we'd like be out. Or even just if I wanted boba. Like I like being able to do that. Yeah. Just you know that you're gonna be fine. Like, I don't know, there's more gun laws in a lot of Asian places.
Yeah, I would say Ho Chi Minh City is the same way too. Like even when I first moved out there, like a lot of 5 a.m. like going to sleep when the sun is coming up nights, like, and just I walk around, I'll see businesses, and it'll just be like women only running the businesses. Yeah. You know, but it's like no worries, like they're just like nobody's gonna bother them, like nothing's gonna happen. I think Vietnam is definitely one of the more safer countries out here. Like everywhere is like pretty safe, but like Vietnam specifically, I just think it's just like extremely safe, especially in Southeast Asia. Yeah. I think it's one of the safest in my opinion.
I feel like as a woman traveler, there's definitely some places like safe in Southeast Asia. Yeah. I remember we were in Korea, like you see girls walking around drunk, and they would have like no care in the world. Yeah, like, that's so beautiful to see. Like women not having to be worried about somebody doing something.
Yeah, that's huge. Safety. And women can walk around like any time of the night. That shows you, right? So like what like he was saying earlier about other people or older people being like, is it safe? Are you sure you want to go there? It's more of like an internal projection that's going on. And she actually, the girl, she actually didn't say this specifically earlier, but she reminded me of this. Do you want to exist and survive, or do you want to live? You can really start living, especially if you already make some type of like US dollar or something. You can stretch it in these types of places. So you can breathe more, maybe even work less. Like I've seen people talk about like working part-time US in places like, you know, Vietnam or Thailand or, you know, Colombia or whatever, right? And it's because they don't like the dollar stretches. So, you know, it goes a lot farther, you know, food is a lot cheaper, rent's a lot cheaper, et cetera, et cetera. And you get nicer food, nicer places, nicer experiences overall. And you don't have to like penny pinch and things like that. Obviously, there's a caveat to that. I think you should work on leveling up your finances. So regardless of where you are in the world, even if it's like, I don't know, New York or San Francisco or Miami, I wouldn't necessarily recommend living in those places. The only one I haven't been to there is Miami, so I can't really speak on that one. But in terms of cost of living, you know, like if you can get by there financially, you can get by anywhere. So take care of that too, but also keep in mind that your dollar will stretch a lot. Even if you have like, I don't know, like a customer service, like phone job or something, right? Just remember that. Like you can make sure to escape sooner than later.
Which always, you know, it's definitely for the women.
And one last thing, that time that will buy you to build financially, maybe even build like, you could become self-employed, you know, start your own business or whatever, even if it's just you, the one person in the business, you could find a way to provide value to people so you never have to work a 9 to 5 again if you put yourself in a situation like this. So keep it in mind. Design your life.
Solo travelers, you can definitely do it.
Yeah. Or like kids being able to live life and like go on a bus by themselves. Like that's amazing. I want to be able to have that.
Yeah. Okay. So since your girlfriend is Vietnamese and you've been exposed to the culture before, is there anything that just felt like completely different? Like you was exposed to it before, but like once you got here, it's like, okay, this is more so like this than anything like that?
So we were out at this water park with her family. It was me, her aunt, and a couple of her cousins. Me and her aunt was, I'm a playful dude. I'd just be goofing around all the time. Yeah. So me and her aunt we were just saying like little Vietnamese phrases back and forth to each other. So I guess she just got real comfortable with me, right? So I wasn't aware it was in the Vietnamese culture. Like they'll slap you to show you like affection. So she kind of gave me like I wouldn't even categorize it as like a love tap. She gave me like an aggressive, like it wasn't no aggressive, like just across the face slap, but it was like a you know, like a solid. It's like a solid hit. And you know, I was kind of just shocked. And I was like, well, I can't slap her back. Yeah. I was just more so shocked. She reacted more than I did. She was like, oh my God, what are you doing, to her aunt? But that's one thing that threw me off. And I had been exposed to it before, but just, I was surrounded by Vietnamese for like a month. Yeah. Like everybody speaking Vietnamese. She was literally playing my interpreter. Yeah. So I guess it was more just being immersed in the culture. It was cool. But yeah, the slapping thing is definitely what threw me off.
Okay.
But everybody's real laid back.
Yeah.
Everybody, the culture in Vietnam is real laid back as opposed to like other countries. That's the most laid back country I've ever been to.
Yeah, and even like coming from Atlanta, I don't know how it is in Houston, but like hustle culture is very big in Atlanta.
It's same in Houston.
Coming to like Vietnam specifically and seeing like the Grab drivers in the middle of the day taking naps on the bike and like all that type of stuff is definitely like, okay, it just opened my eyes to like, you know, maybe you could just chill sometimes.
Yeah, and then a lot of people would stay at home with their parents too.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like 10 people in a house. And like everybody's so business oriented in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we didn't meet too many people that just have regular like 9-to-5 jobs.
He made a good point just now. Don't make yourself a slave to your 9 to 5, like a wage slave, people say, or you know, like in the Matrix, right? It's super cheesy, but hustle culture is not cool. When people say, no, like, yes, like we're proud of you for working hard, but you should also remember to work smart too. You don't have to work 120 hours a week if you're working smart. That's the thing. Like you don't see like construction workers, right? Like they work a lot, but they don't make as much as they should for doing that, right? That's a great example of that. You could work harder and harder and harder, but if you're trading your time for money like that, you're never really going to get where you want to go. So you have to start being more creative, which is what stretching your dollar, being able to think more freely, be less financially strained. That'll free up your creativity to create something to help people, or even just be like your own, like a private contractor. Like some people are in like sales, for example, like high ticket sales or something. So you could be a closer remotely and work for a business and, you know, take like 4 calls a day rather than working, you know, 8 to 16 hours a day, right? You don't have to hustle. You have to do it right.
Like a lot of people own their own business. They own their own stand or own their own coffee shop.
So I've seen that too. Like, and also like just living there, they build businesses like super quick. It'll be like nothing, and then like 3 days later, it's a whole smoothie shop like operating with a sign that's neon and all types of shit. I'm like, yo, I gotta do this in 2.5 days, bro.
Yes,
What's
bro.
going on? Okay, that's dope. So let me ask you, is there anything that you've always tried to explain to him about Vietnamese culture that like now that he's seen it for himself, he like kind of understands more?
What was it? There was something I can't remember right now, but I had to definitely the slap. Now that you got me on that, I was like, oh, that happens. But
maybe the way y'all share food and stuff like that.
oh my gosh, thank you. Okay, yes. So like when we would eat out, I kept trying to tell him because you know everything's family style, and so for most of the time you want to like pick the food and you want to like offer it to your people, and so I would always get my comments like, you never give me any food and
You
stuff.
never served me.
Yeah, and I was like, it's because it's such a service thing in Vietnam. It's like very normal for you to like pick the food for somebody else, or even I don't know, even in pool, for instance, like it's all service oriented. Like if you go to the pool hall, they will put the pool for you, and like you never even get to touch it. They reorganize it for you. So the food thing was a huge one where I was like, do you see how like the younger people, they're serving us first. They're like cleaning the chopsticks and all the utensils to offer it to the elders first, and then like even before you eat, you have to kind of like oh, go ahead first. But it's always for the elders, so it's like mời ăn, and then so when I was there, I was like, my cousins would even like feed him, for instance, right? And he was like no, I don't, like I like feeding myself. Usually, they'll be like, oh, here, try it, and like they'll like and he was like, and they'll be like, bro, just bite it, like what's the problem, but he's like, I want to like take it, I want to eat it, and so I had to get used to that. It's very, and we're already comfortable with each other, so it was like you just offer food often. So I think that was something that I kept trying to remind him of.
That is a big thing. Like whenever I'm out there, like my Vietnamese friends, like what they'll do, we order like a bunch of food and then like everybody just eats amongst the food that's there, like almost like Thanksgiving or something like that.
Yeah, family style.
Yeah.
That's a cool example because they're all sharing. They're a lot more close. Think about Americans, like they probably wouldn't even do that with their family, right? Like, oh, here, try this, and like, dude, like here comes the airplane kind of thing. That's a great example. And I think, of course, like maybe if he's with his girlfriend there, and they're out with the family, and maybe like one of his like her girl cousins. That's a good example. Like he might be more hesitant to do that, but they're all just being close. There's no like, oh, are they trying to hit on them or flirt with them? So you're overthinking it. Americans probably sounds like we overthink a lot.
So let me ask you, what was your ratio like in high school wise? Like what % of your school classmates were Asian? You would say?
Oh gosh, barely.
Barely any?
Actually, in elementary school, I'm gonna say because we were very mixed in my neighborhood.
Okay.
well, I guess I didn't grow up any. It was minority, like very people of color, very mixed with people of color.
Yeah.
And then when I went to middle school, up until high school, it was majority Hispanics, and then I'm gonna say a third Vietnamese and a third black, or maybe like half Hispanic, half black. Yeah.
So something I'm curious about, right? I feel like in the U.S., I feel like we're very undereducated about Asia and the Asian culture. And something that I have, like, since I've gotten in Asia and like growing up, I just see things. And so I'm curious, like, one thing, for example, in the U.S., a lot of people, like, no matter what kind of Asian you are, they'll say like you're Chinese or something like that. How did that kind of like impact you or affect you growing up? Was that more like a normal thing that you just like whatever, or what do you think about that?
Thank you for asking that question.
Yeah.
Thank you for realizing that. Yeah. Okay. So actually in Vietnam, I did learn from this other person from a hostel. He said that the United States has only 5 hours of maybe a very limited amount of geography, right?
Yeah.
Compared to maybe like 500 hours to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And so if you ever heard of anybody being like, oh, we are terrible at geography, we just like really don't even know a lot about culture and stuff, that explains it, because we don't even get that in school. And they're like constantly cutting it down. So anyways, so that's to one where I'm like starting to realize why so many people are just like truly ignorant to even like the Asian culture. And a lot of times they're only in school for history, they're only talking about the wars. And it's from whose point of view? It's always from the state's point of view. So no, so when people would ask me, when growing up in middle school, and they were like, oh, you're Chinese, right? But mind you, I went to school with
That's a good point too. Your country is teaching you what they want you to know. Same goes for the news.
a lot of Hispanics.
Okay.
So I always made it a point to be like, no, I'm actually Vietnamese. But then I was like, okay, well, can you imagine if, like, I know you're from Salvador. Okay, I know you're I know you're Salvadorian. But what if I called you Mexican? And they're like, oh, hell no. And so that from then on, I felt like that was a great analogy for me to be able to explain it to people. Like, no, I'm Vietnamese, y'all, and I'm proud of that. Just like you're proud from the culture you're from. And I always take that analogy, and I went along with it for like the rest of my life, and it's been proving to me well.
Okay.
But yeah, in terms of there's just like a lot of different cultures, and I appreciate you mentioning it and like really like showing on your page and everything too, like the differences in that.
Yeah, but that's something I noticed just being in Asia. Like, I'm like, damn, we don't know about Asia, and like Americans are racist as and yeah, so I'm like, I apologize on behalf of all the Americans out there that are ignorant. But yeah,
I feel like going back to the States is gonna be easier to tell the difference between between who's who.
My biggest culture shock when I went back to the States, I remember I seen the price of like a burger at the airport, and it was like $13-14. And coming from like, I literally flew back to the States from Vietnam. I'm like, what the like, why did I even come back? I'm like, I cannot wait to
$13 a day's worth of living right there.
Yeah. Even like, I remember, I think I had a car issue or something, and it was like maybe like $500 to get fixed. I'm like, bro, that's definitely 2 like months worth of like rent. Like, yo, like that's crazy. So like, yeah, that was like one of my biggest like culture shocks. Like just going back, I'm like, damn, like everything is way more expensive, and I could get.
Another good point. Car payment for the month, or fixing it, right? What he just said, like $500. That's like 2 months of rent in certain spots of Vietnam, right? Or maybe Philippines, Thailand. I'm sure even parts of Latin America too, maybe a little bit farther out. But yeah, you could pay rent somewhere for like $250 a month, or you could pay your car payment or your car repair. That's pretty nuts.
Way more bang for my buck like out there than what I'm spending. But it's gonna be interesting to y'all gotta let me know what you guys think about once you go back to the States.
If we go back.
Yeah. I support the staying out here. I'm always on that type of time. Do you think being here like helped you understand her more?
What you mean by that?
No, go ahead.
Definitely 100%. Just being in Asia, I kind of understand why she does some of the stuff she does back home. Or like why she get mad at some of the stuff I do. Like when I grew up, we used to always just go get your stuff from the kitchen, get what you want, go and sit down, eat, that type of vibe. But in Asia, or in Vietnam especially, it was not like that at all. It's always like one person going to do pretty much everything. Like everybody kind of serving everybody. And now I understand why she gets so frustrated when I do the stuff I do back home.
Okay. Is it like growing up, do you guys still like very much carry like, for example, like no shoes in the house? You guys,
Yes, and I just wish everybody would do this because y'all, I mean, especially, okay, like let's say just in Asia or even in the States, like when you're walking outside, you got dog poop, you got
everything,
bacteria, you just have everything. And if you're gonna go, it's like when people, especially on carpet or like putting your feet on the couch, like things like that. So I can get really passionate about this, but that's just because I don't want people to get sick. Like for real, there's so many things that can get you sick out here. So all this, I'm thinking about PFAS. I'm thinking about like all the germs. And so yes, you have to you just gotta take your shoes off.
Yeah, you bring it outside with you inside.
Yeah.
I never like growing up. Like I feel like it's so normal to wear shoes inside on the carpet. Like even people stand on couches and play.
By the way, my ex, the girl that I was dating previously in Asia, she actually did something great, right? Great girl. I mean, basically, one thing that we would do is we would leave our shoes outside of the room and then step in, right? She had a little shoe rack outside of the room. So the shoes never actually entered the room, which is a great idea. Like she said, it prevents a lot of like bacteria and things like that. Since you're walking around everywhere. better to just leave them outside. I think it's a really smart decision.
Like all that type of shit. Yo, that's like so disgusting.
I
Like,
think he is, bruh. We have started taking off our shoes in our apartment, and now wherever I go, I'm taking my shoes off when I go inside.
Yeah,
Like, it
yeah.
feels so weird just having your shoes on inside.
it's just almost disrespectful. It's like, yeah.
Because my home is my sanctuary.
Yeah.
Like if we've been outside all day,
Yeah.
that's outside. Like, but when I'm at home, I want to be at peace, and I
Yeah.
just want to know everything's kind of clean.
Yeah.
So
I think it's like, and I was also wondering like why like this is such a big thing in the Asian culture, but not really in like the U.S. And one thing I thought about is like I feel like the U.S. and a lot of areas, like even the suburbs, you're not really going to like. The chance of you stepping on like a dead rat is like way lower in the U.S. suburb versus like in Vietnam. Like it's very likely, like at least like it's very likely you're gonna step on some crazy shit at least once in a day. So it makes more sense as to why it's like a bigger deal like over here. But I definitely that's something I'm going to carry like throughout my entire life now at this point.
Yes.
It just makes sense.
What is the origin of those shoes? Do you know?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah,
look that up.
that was my best guess. I'm like,
Yeah. Step on dead rats.
yeah, shit like that, bro. Like it's no telling. Like just me walking down the street, I've seen so much wild shit.
Throwing
Like,
up, people throw it up. Yes.
Exactly.
yeah. So could you guys see yourself living outside the U.S. long term?
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Is that a goal for you? You would say?
I wouldn't say it's a goal right now. We've seen a couple places where we wanted to stay. I wanted to stay in high end, which is like this real scenic, mountainous. You can't get to it in a regular car. You got to take a motorbike type of vibe. You really like Seoul though.
I really like Seoul.
Okay.
Yeah. It's for the first time ever. I saw Seoul. I mean, there is. When you talk about your tax, like where's your tax dollar going?
Yeah.
Like I was benefiting from these tax dollars
Yeah,
going
yeah,
places.
yeah.
Like,
Yes.
like I've never seen at a bus stop, right?
Yeah.
You can go inside the cover,
Yeah.
and it has the charging station for you. You can sit down. It could be like cooling for when it's summer, and then
Yeah,
heating.
heater, yeah.
Yes, and then a heater for the cold. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is where the money's going.
Yeah.
And then like signage for the train station. You know how like okay in the subway, right?
Yeah.
In New York, I'm terrified of somebody just pushing me into
Yeah,
the,
onto
to
the
the
tracks.
onto
Yeah,
the tracks.
yeah.
In Korea, it's like all covered. It's like there's no way that you can even jump in front of it
Yeah,
or do anything
yeah.
or even get pushed in front of it. So I'm just like all of these small things that I was noticing. I was just like I wish that we were able to have more of that. And like there was like water coming from the ground to cool off the tires so that it didn't
Yeah.
pop in the middle of the summer. Like
Okay.
yeah.
Just little things, and then like being able to sit your wallet and phone down when you're playing basketball.
Ah.
If y'all from Atlanta and Houston, I know y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You cannot go in the gym and sit your shit down, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna get taken.
You gotta be strategic about where you
Yes.
leave it.
That's the other thing I was going to say about leaving the shoes outside. We could do that, and our shoes would be there, right? A lot of these places you can leave something out, right? You know, like a laptop or phone, wallet, and people will like come find you and give it to you, right? Like they're not going to take it. I mean, I think the only time I really heard about that was a little bit in Bali, Indonesia, and it was usually, I don't know, the only time it was like specifically like Indonesian guy was on a bike and he snatched like a girl's like a bracelet or necklace or something, and they were both on like a bike, or maybe like one of them wasn't moving. I don't know. Like I've heard people say that about Latin America, and this is what I mean. Like some people walk with their phone out like this when they're trying to figure out where they're going, or they're texting, or it's like in their face. So like someone will go by on a bike and maybe grab that, but only if you're not paying attention. I think you should really only pull your phone out for a little bit, put it back, and keep it close to your body, right? Down low. You can put it back in your pocket. You don't need to do all this, right? So that's a good example. Generally, a lot safer than the U.S., especially like you're talking about like cities, like San Francisco or New York, things like that, L.A. No way, man. I mean, when people say like, "Oh, are you going to be safe over there?" Well, there's safe and not so safe spots of any place in the world. So just keep that in mind. It's not really like much of a difference, but generally probably safer than the U.S.
Yeah, type of stuff.
Yes.
So in one word, what would you describe the biggest difference between the U.S. and Asia?
Safety.
I was gonna say, yeah, safety because of the CCTV. I get it. Like, this is something that I've been like really trying to grapple with because it's like, yes, I love my independence. Oh, damn, you're right. That's what
I feel you though. And so safety for you as well?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's one of my my biggest things too. I'm like, one of the reasons I don't think I'll ever leave Southeast Asia is just, it's so safe. And I've been growing up in like Atlanta and stuff like that. That's just something I value. And so even like I could go to another place in the world, but if it's not as safe, I'm not willing to like give up this safety at this
Yes.
point. It's like I grew up like without safety forever. So it's like now that I finally have it, I'm like, yeah, no, this is like too chill. I could walk around with a camera. Nobody's gonna like snatch it.
Yeah, okay. And also, if you leave your phone, your wallet, your laptop out somewhere in the States, you're probably not going to find it again, more than likely.
Like no weird shit like that. Like I can just chill.
I feel like living in the 21st century and having like the blessing of like the technology we have, like planes and stuff like that. Right now, we have a better. People that was millionaires and billionaires 100 years ago
Yeah.
could not imagine living the life we live right now. So why not take? I'd rather be I think I'd rather be broke now than rich 200 years ago.
I feel that.
And 200 years ago, flying somewhere? What the hell? That's witchcraft. Like, so I feel like it's really important to take advantage of the opportunities we have now to travel. Like, I feel like we're not here just to stay in the States. Like, I know the States is big, it has a lot to offer. Like, I don't think the States is like the worst thing in the world, but definitely go out and experience different stuff. There's so much in the world you can see and so many places you can settle down just to like really optimize your personality and just who you are.
And what advice would like each of you give to somebody who's thinking about it? Maybe they've seen a few videos online and they're like, okay, it looks cool, but they're kind of scared. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. What advice would you give to those type of people?
Don't come out here with $2 in your pocket thinking you finna make it, bro. Like, save some money. Like, be strategic about it. Like, we was budgeting for how long? We was budgeting for a year, putting money away to come out here and just be real. Do a lot of research. Don't just be on YouTube. Go and read like articles and stuff. What do they do? Blogs. Go and read blogs and just figure out what you're doing. And don't come out here. Oh, I got 1,500 saved. It's not gonna do nothing for you. Like, save money. Save money.
And you can follow us at CJ Voyages on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And also, obviously, you gotta follow Joshua because he's been out here for such a long time.
Yeah, man, tap in.
What is my advice? Thank you. Oh, and to add to the money part, like start even putting things for retirement. So even before we went out here, we were even thinking about our future, especially because we're quitting our job. So if you're thinking about all of that, like set money for retirement, set money for when you're gonna pack up your things and put it in storage, or if you want to sell all of your things. But anyways, my advice, I really say just do it, especially if your parents are healthy. So our parents are healthy.
When I was talking to a lot of older people about it, I wasn't getting like a lot of the feedback I thought I would get. I thought a lot of people would be like way more encouraging, but a lot of people were like, you know, what are you going to do that for? You got so much going on back home. I'm like, bro, back home gonna be here.
Yeah.
Like, this shit gonna be the same. Not just gonna be the exact same when I get back.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
Anything might be a little bit worse, but it's gonna be the same.
Yeah, like, wow. I'm not gonna say everybody was like discouraging to me. Like, I understand my parents want me to be safe and stuff, but like, just because you was never willing to do some stuff,
You also get judgment because they don't understand, right? If we could just seek to understand each other more, that would clear it all up. But they might have like a negative, misperception of you. Like they don't understand you, so they're judging you and kind of hating or something. When they really just don't understand, or they feel like maybe they're scared to do something like that, right? So it's actually coming from a place of fear, or like a lower vibration, you could say.
like, it's a different time now. It's not what it was back in your day.
Yeah.
Like, so if you want to do it, just do it. You only get to live this life one time. Yeah. Like, it's such a blessing just to be on earth in general. Like, especially in the States, and being able to even watch YouTube.
Yeah.
So like, you have so much opportunity, and just do it. You don't want to be 50. You don't want to be 50 and be like, dang, I wish I would have took that trip. Like.
And you don't have the body even to be able to. I mean, potentially you don't have the physique to do it. You don't have the mentality to be able to do it, but the physique right now too. We were like, there's no way that when I'm 60, I'm gonna want to go on a motorbike all the way up for 3 hours. Multiple hours that we were doing in Hayang. Yeah.
Yeah, work your whole life to retire 60 plus and not have your physique, like your mobility, your fitness, to do those things that you wanted to do. Just think about that too.
Yeah, we don't walk all day. And in Cincinnati, right, they live for a long time, but like we just knew that we weren't gonna be promised with being able to hike a mountain.
Yeah. And to your point, it's so funny, like everybody's like always telling me like be safe, but I'm like, yo, you should be way more worried about me in the States than here. I'm telling you, I'm way safer. Nobody has guns. I'm way safer here.
I was talking to my little sister like a month after we got here. And she had been watching our YouTube videos. She was like, I thought it would be like so different. I was like, what did you imagine? A war zone? Like, they live in life just like we are. I mean,
yeah, okay. Well, yeah, man, I appreciate you guys joining me. Is there any last words you want to say?
Follow our YouTube. Is it CJ_Voyages or just CJ Voyages?
CJ Voyages is only on Instagram.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, great video. Follow them. Follow Shu as well. You can see it right up there. And then, if you can, like, comment, subscribe here as well. I'm building to 1,000 followers or subscribers now. So help me monetize the channel so I can help more of you guys and do this more full time. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.